want to welcome you back to Fox Soul's Black Report. Our guest is not only a DC-based humanitarian, but also an entertainer with a career spanning over 3 decades in film, comedy, entertainment. His infectious laughter and unrelenting work ethic have brought joy to audiences all over the world. I want you to welcome to the show, Rodney Red Grant. Hello, Red.
How you doing, sis? How you been?
I'm good. It's good to see you. I remember you from my DC days. I was with Magic 102.3, used to come and check you out all the time. And so what I want to start off with is in 2022, you entered the world of politics. You have always been, excuse me if I offend, a fool on the stage, okay? But then you went from that to running for mayor of DC as an independent. So tell us, about this shift and this historic campaign, this undertaking.
Well, it's a lot of smart fools out there, I guess. Well, and I would say back in 2019, I decided to run for mayor of Washington, D.C. I was called to run for mayor, spoke to my wife and my kids, and they were in. I was coming back and forth to Washington, D.C., and a lot of my neighbors and friends were asking me to run for office, and I didn't know which office I would run for. So we spoke about it. I talked to a few people, and I really got involved with the community. Started a lot of community-based groups like Don't Shoot Guns, Shoot Cameras, which helps young people learn filmmaking from thought to theater and beyond your block. And I really engulfed myself into my community and started seeing a lot of the things that were going on in the community. Me having a background in business, working for Viacom for so many years, producing television, I decided to run as an executive office of mayor. A lot of people got behind this movement, and in 2000, I would say 21, we kicked it off, and we had a successful run at mayor, getting over 100,000 votes in the city of Washington, D.C. as an independent. And it had never been done. I made history.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm so happy that so many people got behind this movement, because we are definitely dealing with something in our societies right now that is off, and we need to get back on. And we need to really keep our politicians in line, because they are lying a lot to the public and misleading them as leaders. And I'm in the movement to make sure they have the proper leaders in place, and I'm going to continue to push that movement. Yeah,
so, being a comedian, being out in the community, well-known name, especially in the DMV, you've had your pulse on the people throughout your career. So when it came to shifting into politics, was there any challenge in maybe a different sector of folks taking you seriously?
Well, I mean, I think it's a challenge in any field when you get into anything new. No one wants anybody that's an outsider in what they've been doing over the years.
Right.
But I think people who really know me as Rodney Red Grant understand how serious I am. People who ever been on any of my film sets or television sets understand how I run a strict program. And, it's not really about me trying to make people understand if I'm serious or not. My work stands for itself, stands on itself, and I'm going to continue to push the envelope. We have so many different people like Dick Gregory, who I look up to, who push the envelopes in society, and we're gonna make sure that people hear what they have to hear and continue to push the envelope.
Indeed. So we know after you finish up with us here, you're on your way to inspire and work with some youth. You've been impacting the young folks for years with your nonprofit, Don't Shoot Guns, Shoot Cameras. Talk a little bit more about that particular lane of work.
Well, I started Don't Shoot Guns, Shoot Cameras about 3 years ago in Washington, D.C., in Ward 8, one of the, I would say, forgotten about wards in our city. We have high crime rate, education is suffering, And I wanted to bring something that helped me push through. As you know, I started this whole entertainment business at 19 years old. I was barely old enough to really understand, but when BET gave me an opportunity to produce shows for their network, I jumped at the opportunity, and it showed me so much that I wanted to really teach so many other people, so many young people, because they walk around with their cameras in their hand. When I didn't have a camera in my hand.
That's right.
I
take it you Generation X. We didn't have that luxury or that interesting device there, right?
So it becomes a little bit more simple. But I teach them the base of filmmaking, from thought to theater. They write their own scripts. They shoot their own scripts. They produce their own scripts. They direct the scripts. I teach them executive producing, all of the things, grips and gaffers, all of the things that they will need to make a film. And these young people make the greatest films I've ever seen. And they're short films, but they're very impactful. One was called Gentrification. One was called Social Media, and one was called The Store. So they created 3 different films, and then we pushed those filmmaking skills into the high schools and middle schools in Washington, D.C. And we also pushed it out to Los Angeles, where we worked with people like Matt Barnes came on, Snoop. And we just continue to push this program to help our kids have a vocational education that they can look up to.
And we appreciate you pushing and pushing and pushing. I love the balance here between politician and comedian, and how they, marriage, how you've married them, and how they kind of run one and the same. You're on tour now with Cat Williams. You've got some projects in the bag. We appreciate your work with the youth, with the Black Women for Justice, and we want you to continue to tap in and maybe when you're in our area here in Detroit, come see about us in person. But we thank you for being one of those folks that's getting into good trouble. And thank you for your time today here on Fox Soul's Black Report, Red Grant. And we're looking for some even bigger things coming from you, brother.
And thank you so much. And tomorrow I will be testifying in front of the DC Council on vocational education and bringing vocational education back to Washington, D.C. So we can save so many more lives. And big love to the Black Women for Justice.
That's right.
And the whole Fox. So I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Red Grant, be easy. We'll talk to you soon.
Easy like Sunday morning.
That's it, baby.
Good energy, good things.
Yeah.
Good things.
We're
yes,
looking
indeed.
forward to seeing more from Mr. Red.